Hello, this is Valerie Aiello, and you are listening to Idea Diary. Thanks for coming back to my office and hanging out. So today I wanted to talk about Discord and learning how to use it and being in this communications class that I'm in. I'm loving the class. I was kind of anti-classes, not classes. I feel like there's definitely some great reasons to take a class, and I learn a lot from YouTube videos. If you're editing video and you come to a roadblock and you need to know something specific in Premiere or whatever program you're using, or you're deciding just to be your own graphic designer, so you're learning how to use Photoshop and Illustrator or whatever it is you're using, learning programs, I see the value in classes. There used to be something called lynda.com. I'm sure it still exists, but it was kind of before the Skillshares and all the different companies that came up with like programs, huge databases of classes, and you would pay for the service and you could watch whatever class you want. There was something called lynda.com that did that a long time ago. I don't know what year it started. I remember I had a friend who worked for a fancy company and he had Lynda access, and I could go watch certain classes if I was over at his place working. And Lynda also had, with a course load that they would have, like each course would maybe have like 3 lessons that were free. And I'm kind of a MacGyver in a way where I'm just like, okay, just get me to a certain point and I'll figure it out the rest. So Lynda, I definitely got value out of courses. I definitely get value out of people doing free tutorials on YouTube. And there was one course that I did take that I spent $300 on. I think it was $300. It was something around that amount. It was maybe $250, $300. And it was the first class that I invested in. And the teacher of that course was she was a professional makeup artist, set designer kind of person. So she knew how to teach video production in a certain way that I just felt like, I want to get into that course. I want to know what's behind that paywall. And I just did it. Just like kind of a whim thing. I think it was maybe in December when she launched it. So I had birthday money to spend to where it wasn't like, my curiosity was well worth the birthday present money invested into something to learn something, because I'm into that. And I also kind of wanted to see what was the process of paying for a course. What did you get out of a $300 online course with an instructor? Her actual course part, her Kajabi part of the lessons were just, watch them as you go. And then she would have kind of a live stream Q&A, not necessarily a Q&A. I guess maybe just like a live stream teaching moments where she would talk about whatever. And it was really well organized. I felt like $300 was not necessarily worth it. Would I have done it again? I guess I was kind of coming at it from an angle of, okay, how does somebody do a course? Because that was when courses were exploding all over the place. Everyone was selling courses about teaching people how to sell courses, and it was just exploding. And there was a little bit of an element of a predatory thing happening, because there were people selling just PDFs for $2,000, I don't know. I definitely had a bad taste in my mouth when it came to courses. And for whatever reason, this one course that I took, the teacher just seemed trustworthy. It wasn't like a crazy amount of money, but it was definitely expensive, for being online. When I think of $300, I'm kind of thinking of, okay, I'm buying a badge to South by Southwest or something huge, like you're getting a lot out of it. But, badges to conferences could cost up to $1,200, sometimes more. So I just was curious about the process. So spent $300. I learned a lot about how she ran a course, like a really professional example of you're getting some value. Would I spend it again on that particular course? Probably not. But the overall experience and the learning process of what I was kind of curious about was definitely worth the $300. I feel like she was giving some like unique information and kind of helping people to be organized because she was so organized, and just overall, fine experience. And then I'm guessing that happened maybe 3 years ago, maybe longer, but it's around 3 years ago is when I purchased that course, and I never purchased a course again. But recently I purchased a course from a comedian that's basically teaching communication in a really unique way that was just like very like pinpointed directly at me. I kind of trusted him. His course was, I think, $500. I just had a feeling there was something that he could teach me and it would be worth the money. At the time, I was kind of like, should I spend the money on this? And I gave myself kind of a week to think about it. Because I don't spend money based on pressure. I will happily let something go and not buy it. I feel better not buying it than to feel pressured to buy something and then regret it later. So anyway, I gave myself a week. If I really wanted the course in a week, I kind of told myself, okay, if I get $500 landed in my lap, I'm going to buy that course. And within maybe like 3 days later, I got a check in the mail for $800. Then I got another check for $1,000. I just started getting like all this free money. I was like, okay, I got the hint. I should be in this course. Well, this course is amazing. It's a lot different than the other course. The other course was sort of about people talking to each other, but not really. There was something missing. People weren't connecting in that course, where this course seems maybe a little bit more niche down, not such a broad topic. So maybe that's the difference. But I mean, everyone seems to be connecting and talking, and we had a kind of open mic inside Discord, and I haven't really used Discord very much in a hangout situation, and that was just so good. What this particular comedian is teaching isn't really like very specific, because he's not teaching comedy necessarily. He just happens to be funny, and he makes funny videos and is kind of a professional actor. But the course is really about communication in a, kind of build it yourself in your own unique way. And it is kind of basic information, but it's kind of taught in a way that even basic things, you can think about them, take things a little bit more seriously and kind of build your own repertoire up in your own way. Tons of one-on-one time. I'm guessing there's maybe 40 people in the class, and it still feels like he's given a lot of personal time and a lot of attention. And like I said, people are kind of connecting in their own way. It's just really great. So even though I'm not the biggest fan of courses, I'm like, okay, if I could have this kind of experience based on exactly what maybe I want to talk about at the moment, which is what I'm super into, is kind of a no niche personal brand creation, kind of working on presenting myself online in a way that I can like meet like-minded people and connect and kind of be a little bit more professional, but also be very myself, and kind of think of social media in a way of like, how can I use this to make my life better instead of, just posting food videos or dog videos, or not that any of that's bad, but I just kind of want to take my online presence to the next level, because I think it's a really important skill that's going to be super important in the very near future. I think being able to talk into a camera, communicate who I am, say what I do, maybe just be fun for somebody. I feel like whatever it is that I'm building, like just being a great communicator, something I'm working on. And I think it's going to be super valuable skill for me for whatever it is that I decide to do with that skill. I'm not sure yet. But I was kind of thinking, okay, do I want a mastermind kind of group together of people that can kind of come inside Discord and talk? Or is that kind of a waste of time, because people, if they don't pay for something, then they're not really so motivated to kind of stick around and be involved and kind of help a group of people work on themselves. Like maybe the paying part is what kind of keeps people invested, maybe. I don't know. I really don't want to sell a course of any kind, but I would really like to have that kind of group of of people kind of connecting and giving their opinion, you know, in not a brutal way, but definitely in a real way. You know, tell somebody, okay, this isn't the greatest thing in the world, but here's some tips on how to be better, and then kind of growing together. That's kind of what I'm thinking about now. How to connect with people and kind of have that hot seat moment and give, you know, real good tips, like real tip, kind of be invested in each other. Not in a accountability coach way. That is like the most annoying thing in my mind. Just have someone tell you, hey, you said you would do this and you're not doing it. I'm trying to keep you accountable for the things that you said. It's like, okay, you know, things, you can have goals that get derailed, or that you have to back burner, or that you have to, for whatever reason, work on this old idea now because now's the time. You know, when you have like a billion ideas, you've got to kind of go with the flow a little bit and give yourself some grace to fail, or to take a moment, or to try something new, or to be totally derailed with something totally amazing. You know, it's just the accountability coach thing, just like, no way am I interested in that. Kind of like a performance uplifter. If there's some sort of way to do that without charging a bunch of money, without a ton of pressure, with also bringing a lot of value, with also maybe being kind of casual so you can come and be silly, or just try something new that you know sucks, but you just got to start somewhere. You know, I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to figure out, okay, what is that? Is it a kind of workshop situation? Is it a workout situation? Is it kind of like personal training, but you're working on your personal brand and just your connection and authenticity? Maybe that's a bad word to use, but you know, it's just kind of what's on my mind today, and I wanted to share. If you have any thoughts, I would really love to know. So send me a message. You have ValerieAiello.com and pick your favorite place to DM somebody, or you can send me a direct message there and let me know what you think. I think that's all I've got when it comes to that. But this show is brought to you by the song of the day, of which I choose. And the song I chose today was Moonlight Serenade by Glenn Miller and his band, his orchestra. So I feel like this is a definitely great morning album. Pretty much any Glenn Miller relaxing music, relaxing side of what he does, rather than the like swing kind of other, you know, the side of Glenn Miller band that's like super high upbeat dancing. And then he also has the like romantic soft side to his music. So the Glenn Miller slow side of things is a great like starting your workday kind of music to play. And it's also great music like if you're hustling and cleaning and getting ready for a party. If you put on some Glenn Miller and just kind of like ease into that party, you let loose of all that like chaotic energy of worrying about things being perfect, and you know, just kind of like go with the flow, and then the party just happens. And yeah, take a listen. Have a Glenn Miller day. Anyways, see you later. Bye.